Hey there, thank you for continuing supporting my videos and coming back to my channel. But you know what else needs your support? The Black Lives Matter movement. In the description below you'll find links to donation pages, petition pages and ways to support black owned businesses. Racism is still very much an issue even if the topic is no longer trending. Thank you so much, and now back to your normal video. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, down to the last page. Now for today's video I'm doing a book review for Dark Heart Forever by Lee Monroe. This was the second book from my Bookshelf TBR edition 1, and before I go into my thoughts about what I thought about the book, let me just give you a quick synopsis of what the book is about. So the book follows Jane Jonas, a 15-year-old girl who's been having these strange dreams, and in these dreams she meets this mysterious boy Luca. Jane feels a connection to Luca and is not sure why she feels this obvious kinship with him. Out of her dream state and back into reality, in her conscious state, she also meets another boy, Evan. Evan's an absolute dreamboat. He's mysterious, he's dashing, and as Jane starts to develop a relationship with Evan, Luca is there to throw a spanner in the works. Now Jane is in the middle of this tug of war between Evan and Luca, but both boys aren't perfect. They both obviously bring their own emotional baggage to the table. First and foremost, I wasn't a fan of this book. I didn't like this book, and I have written a couple of points as to why that was. Unfortunately, my main issue with this book was that after I've read it, and obviously the ideas that were in the book, what we explored, what was going on between all our characters. In theory it sounded so interesting, sounded intriguing, but it just wasn't executed properly. I feel like it just fell flat. So going back to, like I mentioned, some of the points about why I didn't like this book, which was it was hard to get through. I've read the first few chapters. I thought maybe after the first few chapters it might start to pick up, but it just stayed like that for the majority of the book. I feel like there was a lot of unnecessary content in the book, especially what actually happened in the duration of the story. It did not need the amount of pages it got for the book, in my opinion. I already quickly mentioned this, the writing just felt flat. The story itself wasn't boring at all. Very interesting, the characters' backgrounds and everything were very interesting. It was all first person through Jane's perspective. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe I have read a few YA. And Jane in particular, I need to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's 15 going on to 16. Sometimes I found her so irritating, almost so annoying. But again, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because she was portraying a 15/16-year-old. But the story was her point of view. I actually would have preferred if it was the point of view of either Evan or Luca. Honestly, their stories and what happened on their sides was much more interesting. I feel like if the story shifted into one of their perspectives, we would have maybe lost out some of the reveals in the book. However, I feel like the writing would have flowed a bit better, and Jane being another secondary/tertiary character would have fit better if it came from the other two guys' point of view. It isn't all bad. There was one good point. The one thing I did like about the book is the way it ended. First and foremost, this is the first book in a trilogy. The ending was wrapped up what happened in the plot really nicely. It didn't leave too much of a, say, cliffhanger. It didn't leave me on a sense of I need to go out and find more of what happens. I may look into the other books. I may see what potentially might have happened, skim through the blurbs and maybe look at some reviews online. But for me, I'm happy where this book ended. It wrapped up the book quite nicely. It had 30 plus chapters. Yeah, 30 plus chapters. It only got interesting towards the final 15 or so. Final 15, 14 maybe chapters. The book actually picked up, which I did enjoy. So the later half of the book, I just felt like I was just trudging along. I probably would have preferred the book if it was shorter. Again, if everything that had happened, maybe because it's the first book in the trilogy, I don't know. But unfortunately, it's put me off reading the other two. I'm sorry, Lee Monroe. No offense to your book, to your story. If everything that happened in the book was condensed into less pages and fewer pages, I might have actually enjoyed it much better. The story writing would have not felt so sparse. If you have read this book and you did enjoy it, that's fantastic. Unfortunately, this book was just not for me. And that was it. That was my book review for Dark Heart Forever by Lee Monroe. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever read this book, the books in the trilogy, and what you thought. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials, which are also linked down in the description below. And I'll see you all next time.